Welcome back to another Salesforce interview question and answers video. So in this video, I'm going to take 3 Apex related interview questions. And this includes one completely new question like what are transaction finalizers in Apex? So very few people have heard about this keyword, finalizers. So this is not commonly asked question because this is quite a new feature. But I'm also going to take 2 simple questions, means commonly asked questions, and I'm going to explain their answers too. So stick with me. This video is going to be very helpful for you. So first question is, what are transaction finalizers in Apex and how to use it? This is simple thing. Transaction finalizers, as the word says, it's going to allow you to attach actions, so post-processing actions, to queuable Apex jobs. So you can attach some tasks to do after queuable job has been processed. Now that job can either fail or can succeed. So queuable job is type of asynchronous process like Apex batch. So system.finalizer interface will help you define a post-action sequence to be performed, and then it will attach that post-action sequence to your queuable job. So let's have a look at documentation once so that it will be crystal clear to you. So before transaction finalizers, there were only 2 options to check the status of your asynchronous job and do the necessary cleanup or necessary actions. So the old way was monitoring what's going on in the asynchronous job. Just query async Apex job and then, re-enqueue the job if it has failed. Okay? Otherwise, just fire this batch Apex error event when batch Apex has encountered an unhandled exception. But instead of using these old ways, you can use this newly introduced feature, transaction finalizers. So you can design your recovery options after queuable job has failed. Okay. So if you see the example, so this is your queuable class. Along with queuable, you will also implement finalizer interface, and then you will attach this finalizer to your queuable context. So by using system.attach finalizer, you are going to attach some post action to your queuable job. Okay. So if you scroll down, you will see one more execute, and that execute accepts finalizer context. Okay. So here you are going to specify the action that you want to perform. So either you can retry your failed queuable job, or you can send an email, or you can send a notification, or you can just insert a failed log record in your custom log object. So there are multiple possibilities. So it lets you handle the failure or the success in a better way. Okay. So this is the overview of transaction finalizers. I can make a detailed video on this, but this can be one of the hot questions that will be asked in Salesforce interviews in upcoming days. So in 2 lines, you can just answer transaction finalizers allow you to attach actions to queuable jobs using the finalizer interface. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Now this is the commonly asked question, recursion in the trigger. So let's read the scenario. You have a before insert trigger on the account object that updates related contact records. However, this update causes a before update trigger on contact, which updates the account record again, leading to an infinite loop. How would you modify the triggers to handle and prevent recursive updates? Now, scenario is simple. Account is updating contact and contact is again updating account. Okay, so 2 triggers are firing each other, causing infinite loop. Now, how to stop this recursive behavior? Now, many people get confused while answering this because they know we have to use the static variable, but when they start writing code in front of interviewers, somehow they are not able to use the static variables correctly. So basically, the one-word answer static, but you don't know how to actually implement it. So that's why I feel this question is very important to discuss. If they tell you to write a code using static variable, how will you write it? Now, first of all, this is simple trigger of account. So this trigger is on account before insert transaction. So it's going to call this method from handler before insert. Now let's go in account trigger handler. Now here comes the main part, how to use static variable correctly. Now this is my method handle before insert. the static variable should be initialized as false before the method starts. Okay, so you declared your boolean is executing and you initialized it as false. Now, once you enter into the method, you have to assign value to true. So is executing will be true because you have entered into the method. So in between this, your logic will be there. Anything, any business logic, for example, updating related contacts. Okay, so after that whole code is executed, then you have to make this static variable false again. Okay, so how it is going to avoid recursion? Now, after your is executing has been marked true, okay, you are somewhere over here, you have updated related contact and the contact trigger has fired. And again, inside the contact trigger, you are updating account record again. Okay, now code will come over here again, handle before insert. Now, as it will find is executing true, it will return. Okay, so here there is a if loop. If is executing is true, then it will return. It will not go inside and update the related contacts again. Okay, you came back in handle before insert, but you did not enter the method. You just returned from the first line itself because you found that is executing is still true. You are marking this is executing boolean static variable false only after your whole code is executed and you are done with this method. Okay, so this is how recursion will be avoided. So you must be able to explain this properly to interviewer without confusing them. So this is one good example. You can just type it out in interviews without spending much time on it. Okay, then let's move on. The next question is, you have custom business rules stored in custom metadata types that need to be applied to your Apex code. How would you retrieve and use custom metadata types in your Apex code to implement these business rules? Provide a code example demonstrating how to query and apply these metadata records. So this question is basically about custom metadata types. Okay, now we know that we can use custom metadata types in the Apex code. But how? Because we want to provide an example. So this is the clean and easy example. So suppose this is my Apex class metadata example. This is my method, apply business rules. So my name of the custom metadata is business rule MDT. Now this is the particular thing that they are looking for. Whether do you use __C or something else or just leave it like business rule. So this query is what they are looking at. Okay. So always remember __MDT for custom metadata types. Okay. Query that custom metadata type, keep it in the list. Now the logic can be anything. I have just added a debug over here that this is the rule master label. This is the label of that record and this is the value of that record. So it's going to be rule and value. So it's going to be key and value. Okay. So this is how you can use custom metadata inside Apex code. As I said, the main thing that they want to test is whether you can remember this prefix or not, MDT prefix. Okay. So here the custom metadata type can be replaced by anything which has some different prefix in the Apex code. This shows that how much you were familiar with this type of things in the Apex. So these were today's 3 questions related to Apex. I will bring such more questions. It will involve new questions also like finalizers, interface, and some commonly asked repetitive questions also, so that it will help you to give clear answers to old questions also. So I'll bring such combination of new and old questions in upcoming videos. So do subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you.